Hey everybody, I wanted to welcome you to the channel. This is all about deer hunting. This is what we do here. Who is ready for bow hunting? Hey everybody, it's almost bow hunting season. Hopefully that weeds out some of the mean and rude big bad hunters out there, the big trophy hunters that know everything about public land hunting. Oh man, some of the comments that I've been getting from some people, I mean, I don't even understand what the deal is with some of these haters out there and why they think they need to leave some ridiculous comment. Like, don't even comment at all. It just cracks me up. You guys obviously clicked on this video because you're wanting to find out more information about how to hunt out of state, how to pick a state, how to pick a spot in a state, and how to figure out, like, where am I gonna hunt in that state once I finally get there? Well, good thing you're here. I'm gonna take you through my process and what I do to hunt all over our great nation and our public lands that are mine and yours. Come with me as I walk you through my whole process in picking out multiple different states to hunt each and every year. Hey guys, thanks for picking this video. Welcome to the channel. All you that are new, we welcome you, and all of you guys that are old, always appreciate you guys so much. You picked this video because you're looking to hunt out of state and you're trying to figure out, like, first of all, what state do I hunt? And then what area do I hunt in that state? Because most states have multiple different public land opportunities for us to go hunt. And how do you narrow it down to that one property that you're going to go spend maybe 4 to 7 days hunting, or what state you're going to hunt, right? So I'm going to help you guys break it all down, and we're going to go through my whole process, how to pick out a state and then a piece of public land on that state. First thing that I do whenever I decide, like, okay, I'm going to go hunt out of state. I don't have a deer lease, so I save a ton of money by not paying for like corn and deer stands because I hunt on the ground. I don't pay for deer leases. I don't pay for travel going back and forth to that. So a lot of guys that I know here in Texas anyway, that pay for leases, y'all, they're investing anywhere between $5,000 and $10,000 a year on this lease. And that goes for corn and you know, the travel and the deer stands and whatever it might be, the lease itself. It just becomes very spendy real fast. And you're hunting the same place over and over and over and over again, right? That's just not my style. So the first thing that I do is I go and I get on my maps and I try to decide, okay, what's about an average distance that I'm willing to drive this year to go hunt out of state? So I put out basically like a circumference of about 12 to 16 hour drive from where I live here in Central Texas. So first thing I do is I go to my maps and I zoom out and I start picking locations from my home. I start picking locations out that I think is about that 12-hour drive mark, right? So I click here on Alabama, 741 miles, 11 and a half hours. Perfect. So Alabama, I actually have Alabama on my list. because that's one of those states. And then I just start picking different areas like Illinois. I'll pick somewhere in Illinois. Okay, there's 12 and a half hours. I did Virginia on here. That was right at 18 hours. So that's just past my 16-hour mark, which, you know, for Virginia, I wouldn't mind driving, you know, an extra couple of hours. So as I go through here, I start marking those states down, and the factors on my state are based on, of course, if I can get a tag there this year, not a draw tag. If I draw for a tag, then I automatically, that's going to be one of the states that I hunt, regardless of how far it is, because I want to hunt all 50 states. And then whenever I finally draw a tag like Kansas, I know I'm going to go hunt that state no matter what. But anyways, so once I've decided my top states that I'm going to go visit, then I check on the amount of public land that they have. That's a big deciding factor sometimes. So I put the percentage of public land here on my list, how much the tag cost, and then the travel distance between from my state to whatever state that I'm going to do. And that's how I have decided on these states, which are Alabama, Tennessee, Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, Nebraska, Virginia, and Ohio. Okay, so after I decided all of those are within my travel distance, right? Because I know how many miles per gallon my truck drives, you know, so I know roughly about how much fuel it's going to take me to get to those states. So then I jot all that information down. So I'm building this list to be able to see, okay, I know how much my tag costs, right? And whatever other, sometimes I have to buy a license and a tag. It's not all in one. So that goes on the list. And then I have a total of what it's going to cost me to basically hunt and drive to that state. Now, I don't consider food into this budget because I have to eat every day, y'all, and $15 a meal, 2 meals a day that I'm gonna actually buy, and that's even a lot because most of the times I take deer meat, sausage, my own meals that I dehydrate just to cut down on that extra cost. And then I camp everywhere that I go so that I don't have to pay for a hotel, except for maybe my last day or maybe one day in that trip. I'll figure in one hotel to take a shower and just sleep in a real bed. But most of the times I'm not spending any money on hotels or anything. I camp right there in the back of the truck. I give myself little wipe down showers, whatever, shower in a creek, bath, whatever. So that's how I do that. Now, let's move into how I decide where I'm going to hunt in that state. Let's just take a state, for example, okay? I'm going to pick Arkansas. Arkansas is a pretty big public land state, so I'm going to go over here. I'm going to go to Google, and I'm just going to type in Arkansas public land hunting, okay? So this is a big secret. If you get onto the local, like, there are hunting forums just about in every single state, okay? And these guys love to brag about the deer that they shoot, y'all. No matter what it is, I'll get on YouTube, I'll get on Google, and I will type this stuff in, and I will basically find Facebook groups. I have around 3,000 or 4,000 friends on Facebook, and that's because I'm a public land hunter. That's not because I like Facebook, okay? Facebook is there for me to promote my YouTube channel and for me to do research on other states. So I can go find other guys in other states, and then they give away their information. If I see a guy with a giant buck that killed on private property, guess what? I'm going to look up the town that guy lives in, and then I'm going to search public land around that town, okay? This is how I find where big deer get killed, okay? I also go to forums, and guys will just say, oh, somebody will post a giant buck that got killed on public land, right? And then 3 pages down in the comments on this thread, some dude will give away the location of where this giant buck was killed, okay? Then I'm going to find that piece of public land and I'm going to start picking it apart, you guys. This is huge information that is out there, public information that you can just type in on any of these forums or even YouTube. Once you find an area, let's say like, you find this giant buck that was killed on public land, and then you happen to find out where that buck was killed on a WMA or something. Then I will Google that WMA and I will YouTube search that WMA, and you wouldn't believe the amount of information that's out there just from guys posting videos of hunting that location, okay? And so I will take those areas and I will pick them apart, and I will find areas that guys do not like to hike into, or that they drive by going to like the end of the road or the end of the trail or whatever it might be. Okay, let's look on here, and arkansashunting.net. Perfect. Here it is. Right off the bat, immediately I click on a forum that immediately has guys talking about hunting public land in Arkansas, okay? Which is where I want to go hunt. And then so like Winona, WMA has a lot of deer. No permit required. Check out the areas close to Highway 9, south of Thornburg. I mean, this guy is this guy is basically drawing me a map where to go hunt deer, y'all. Okay? And then I'm confident with my abilities. So I'll pick out a few of these WMAs and I'll start then picking them apart on Onyx. Okay? So let's go to Buffalo River WMA. Go to my Onyx maps. I'm going to go over here to Arkansas. And then I'm going to start looking at those areas, okay? Once I find an area that I like, then I will start to drop waypoints on some of these areas. And then I'll start dropping pins on areas that I want to check out, okay? And so that's how I decide what state to go to. And then I start to dissect each state from there and look at the different public lands, right? Depending on my budget, I will pick out several different states that I want to try to target that year. And then I try to work those into the calendar to where I can still have some time to come back and work maybe a week, and then I'll leave for a week. Or come back home and work for 2 weeks, and then I'll go leave for a week. And I work for myself, so I can schedule those jobs and stuff like that around my work week or around my jobs that I have coming up, if that makes any sense. So I hope this helps you out. This is just a quick little video. I wanted to get out there. You guys acted like you were interested in figuring out how to hunt other states. I break it down on a budget standpoint first. Then I go do my research online, and I find forums or places that people are talking about on forums. I find out where big deer are getting killed on Facebook in that state. I look at my friends on Facebook and find out what they have been killing in different states that I'm wanting to go travel to once I know they're in my budget as far as distance goes. And then I start finding those little pieces of public land around the areas that I see guys on private killing big deer, okay? That doesn't necessarily mean that the public land is going to have big deer like they do on private, but it gives me a good idea of the caliber of deer that are being killed in that county. And then I will find places to hunt near those big buck locations that I find on social media. Guys are always wanting to brag about the bucks that they kill. They're always wanting to share with their friends and their local community, you know. And the crazy thing is about this social media stuff is that you can go on there, guys, and you can search so many different things that will give you intel on where to go hunt public land. I hope that this helps you out. I hope you hit the subscribe button and follow along. We've got an epic season coming up. You guys, I'm going to be headed to Colorado in just a week. I'm going to be hunting with Hunt Wars, coaching 4 teams to hopefully harvest a public land bull on Hunt Wars TV and have their chance at winning a ton of cash and prizes. Go check out Hunt Wars. For those of you guys that are going to be elk hunting, go to Elk Bros podcast and Blue Collar Elk Hunting, Blue Collar Elk Hunting podcast, and follow along. I'm on there every week or so, just depending on Joe's schedule. Follow along on all of my hunts coming up for whitetail. I'm going to be doing some really cool stuff this season, so make sure that you guys are following along. Look me up on Facebook so I can see where you guys are killing these giant deer. Cole Wilkes on Facebook. Also on Instagram, Flatlander on YT. You guys can go follow along there as well. And I just post up random stuff here and there. Anyways, good to have you. Hope you guys have some good luck this season. I hope this helps you make a decision on what state to go hunt. Let me know. Keep in contact. Email me, flatlanderhunt@yahoo.com, and share your buck pictures that you guys are killing this fall. See ya.